Welcome to Tenor Tech, where I solve the problems you didn't even know you had.
You begin by verifying the gauge is a 12V tack and noting whether it needs an inductive pickup or a tack signal. Once done, identify the ignition coil negative or the labeled ECU tack wire and choose a solid chassis ground. Make sure to disconnect the battery negative to avoid shorts. Then, strip a small length of insulation and prep your ring terminal and wire tap. This gets you ready to make the first durable electrical connections. You now route a fused, switched 12V supply to the gauge power terminal using a 1-2 fuse close to the source. Next, tap the tack signal. If using coil negative, use a dedicated clamp or solder. If using ECU, find the labeled tack output and use a proper connector. Once connected, attach the gauge ground to the same ground point as the engine block. Route the harness along factory wiring, keeping it away from exhaust heat and fan blades to avoid noise and damage. You finish by reconnecting the battery and turning the key to check gauge illumination and perform the needle sweep. This confirms power. Once done, start the engine and calibrate the gauge's drive type or pulses per revolution setting per the manual, then verify idle RPM reads correctly. If readings are erratic, make sure grounds are tight, shielding is intact, taps aren't loose, and the signal isn't bleeding from ignition noise. Adding a small resistor
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to keep your life in tune.